We are live for episode 81 of the Hurricane Mike Show. Now, Dad, I believe a team dropped out of the playoffs last week. Who was that?
Would that be the Atlanta Falcons?
Oh, really? Why do you think that is, by chance?
Because they suck.
Man. Oh, we're the Mighty Falcons. We're going to the playoff. Dad, what did we say before the season? What did we tell them?
I try to tell people, I try to tell them this every year that Atlanta Falcons not going to the playoffs. They're not winning a Super Bowl. And they just don't believe me. They, thought Kirk Cousins was a cousin and he was going to lift their family up, but it just did not happen for them.
Yeah. I mean, before the season, we were like, watch, I'll go 7-10 again. Because there's a curse, right? So for the last 3 years, Falcons have won 7-10. So I told y'all were gonna go 7-10 again, and when y'all do, we're just gonna make a show of us just laughing at you. So lose to the Raiders if you want to. Lose to the Raiders if you want to. Lose to them. I guarantee you don't even watch my show for the rest of the year. Lose to the Raiders. I'm gonna be all over. But anyways, now let's get down to business. We're actually about to talk about two teams that actually have a chance to make the playoffs. So the Detroit Lions with a 34-31 victory over the Green Bay Packers. Lions are 12-1. Packers are now 9-4. Both teams still have a chance the Lions clinched the playoff berth with the Packers. They still have a pretty strong chance to make it in. Dad, how do you feel about this game?
One of the best games of the year so far. I think the Lions are one of the best teams in the league, if not the best. And the Green Bay Packers right behind them, not far behind them. But yeah, this was a great game. I don't know if the Lions are gonna lose another game this year, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the Lions schedule, they do have a tough game against the Bills this week. I don't know if they're gonna win that game. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna have our prediction show on Friday most likely, but they got the Bills. That'll be a tough game. They got the Bills, Bears, 49ers, and Vikings. All right. The Bills, they're a great team, so that's going to be a good game. The Bears, you never know in these divisional games, but you like to think that they should beat the Bears. But it was close the first time, even when Eberflus was employed. They got the 49ers, the NFC Championship rematch, but the 49ers aren't what they were last year. And then they got the Vikings, which could be a showdown for the division at the end of the year. So let's get into it. Lions 34-31. This game clinched the playoff berth for the Lions. Dan Campbell went for it on 4th and 1, and it paid off. A lot of people were saying Goffsey was down. If you know football or no NFL, you know that he's not considered down. What's up, Connor? Yeah, I saw the Saints sign Ben DiNucci. That we're in a point where we have to rely on a dude named Ben DiNucci.
Is he catching passes?
No, he's a quarterback.
Okay.
So he's throwing passes.
Somebody catch passes.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to be our Nathan Peterman, a dude that's just going to have a jersey to go home to at least, so he can just wear a jersey. But yeah, let's move on to one of the best games of the year to whatever this was. Jaguars over Tennessee, 10-6. Both teams 3-10. Both teams fighting for that number one pick. Jaguars scored all their 10 points in the fourth quarter. Like, this game is just. Dad, what's your take on this?
By the look of the score, you probably would be like, that's a great game if you like defense, but no. That's just a lousy game, a lousy offense against another lousy offense. Both teams are going nowhere. Wins combined, both teams. So they're definitely fighting for position for a number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, they are, man. Both teams, they didn't care. They were like, man, let's just get out of here, just alive. Man, Jaguars scored all 10 of their points in the final quarter, and the Titans somehow, some way, don't. Well, the Titans somehow, some way had slim playoff chances before the game, but that ended on Sunday, which I don't. If you were a Titans fan and you're like, okay, so we need this, that, man, you were just wasting your breath, wasting your brain knowledge. I'm like, oh man, like, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to a better game. The Miami Dolphins taking care of their division rival, New York Jets, in overtime, 32-26. Jets the past couple of weeks, they've been trying to play spoiler to some teams. It hasn't paid off, but they were in close ball games with Seattle, close ball game with Miami. Dad, what's your take on this? Dolphins 6-7, Jets 3-10.
Jets thought they had one. They thought they had one, but Miami, they was able to make the plays down the end to win this game. Dolphins are still in the playoff hunt at 6-7. And the Jets, they really don't have no playoff hope at 3-10.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa, came back with a touchdown pass to Jonnu Smith in overtime to win the game. Tyreek Hill now has the same amount of touchdowns this season as he has children, so that's some. But yeah, so Dolphins keeping their playoff hopes alive. Jets, they're just seeing wherever the wheels. Like, is this the end for Aaron Rodgers? Should Oregon? I don't know. But now let's talk about this. Vikings just put in the absolute beat down to the Falcons, 42-21. Vikings are now 11-2, but yet they're still second in the division because Detroit is just playing godly this season. And they got the Falcons at 6-7, fell out of the division lead. Dad, what's your take on this massacre? It wasn't a massacre until the fourth quarter, but it was still a massacre. Wow.
Well, this is just like I predicted. I predicted that the Vikings was going to dog walk the Falcons this week, and they sure did. And the Vikings are right behind the Lions at 11-2, right there with the Packers. So that's a good little race to the end there. And the Falcons, yep, they fell out of the division lead, and I think they'll fall even further coming up.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of all this at the end of the show, we're going to talk about the playoff pictures. So if you want to see where your team stands, stay tuned. All right, next up, the New Orleans Saints. If I can beat the New York Giants in the Wasteful Bowl, the Lysol Bowl, the Chips and Cheetos Bowl, whatever you want to call it, this thing. But the Saints beat the Giants at the end of the day, 14-11. Saints are now 5-8 with their playoff hopes slim, but they're still there. Well, the Giants are 2-11. They're just looking for their new QB at this point. Because Drew Lock ain't it. Tommy DeVito ain't it. Tommy DeVito's too focused on getting hot, attractive women to try to get them to win games. Did you see that? Like, that's just... But yeah, they already cut Daniel Jones. And we could have told you he wasn't the answer. So that was your last takeaway on the Saints getting this win.
This was definitely the Tank Bowl. Both teams going back and forth. This was a nice struggle between one team and another team. Both like, no, I'm gonna lose this game. No, I'm gonna lose this game. I'm gonna show you. I am going to show you. Okay, you did that to lose the game. Okay, I'm gonna miss an easy field goal. I'm gonna kick it right to the line and have it bounce off somebody's hand. Bam. So
Yeah.
Saints win. Giants moving a little closer to getting their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, Brian Brees, man, blocks a potential tying field goal as the Saints hold off to beat the Giants 14-11. Because if Graham Gano would have made that field goal, the game would have went to overtime, 14-14, and obviously whoever got the ball first, if they would have got a touchdown, they would have won that game. So if the Giants would have won that game, I would have told you this was the same thing that happened in 2021. Do you remember that?
Yep, I do.
In 2021, you're leading against the Giants by 11, which you were this game. They come back, force overtime, which they almost did, and then you lost in overtime. If we would have lost this game in overtime, I would have said some type of things. But yeah, Derek Carr ended up getting injured, so it's going to be either Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener, or Ben DiNucci starting this Sunday versus the Commanders. But yeah, the Saints took 2 leaps against the Giants. An interception by Demario Davis at the end, it should have sealed it because it was a touchdown, but the referee said no. But I don't know. I don't think that was considering giving himself up. But yeah. Anyways, next up on the agenda, the Philadelphia Eagles taking care of the Carolina Panthers 22-16. Eagles are now 11-2, and the Panthers are 3-10. And I don't think they've been eliminated yet, so that's a surprise. Dad, what's your takeaway from this game?
Just the Eagles getting better, even though the quarterback and receivers are not on the same page. They're bickering, they fighting. I don't know what's wrong with them, but yeah, they're 11-2, taking control of their division, and Panthers did what Panthers do. They lost.
Yeah. They've lost 10 times this season, so I think they're pretty used to it. But yeah, Saquon Barkley, another brilliant game, getting 20 carries for 124 yards. He didn't find the end zone on Sunday, but he still had a brilliant game. But like you said, man, the passing game, though, got the Eagles frustrated, man, because the mood in the Eagles locker room was a bit more bleak than it should have been for a team that, was 11-2, winning their division, fighting for the NFC's number 1 seed. You've been like, okay, bro, what you fighting for? That's like, bro, how can I say this? That's like you fighting with your older cousin because he has more money than you. But yet you're both millionaires. Like, bro, just shut up at that point. But anyways, let's move on because there's nothing to talk about there. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking care of business against the Cleveland Browns, 27-14. Steelers are now 10-3, and the Browns, they're 3-10. Dad, just take it away. Hello?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Technical difficulties, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
But Steelers. Yeah, I can hear you. Steelers win. What's your takeaway on it?
Steelers bounce back from dropping one to Pittsburgh. Oh, no, not Pittsburgh. Cincinnati. Back in the win column, Russell Wilson.
The Steelers beat the Bengals last week.
Go him.
The Steelers beat the Bengals last week. Yeah. 44-38.
Who did they lose to?
Their 3 losses. Hold on, I could.
They was losing. They lost to the Browns, right? No, that was this week.
Hold on. I got you. So the Steelers, they've lost to. Let's see. All right. So they lost to the they lost. Let me move this over here. All right, they lost to the Colts, they lost to the Cowboys, and they lost to the Browns. So,
Okay, well, it must be. That's what I meant to say. A rebound against the team that beat them last in the snow. I remember that. And so they got the 10th victory. They're looking good for the playoff seeding. And the Browns, they're getting into that Panthers Giants territory where, okay, let's lose these games so we can get a franchise quarterback.
yeah. Russell Wilson, he's been having a great season for Pittsburgh, threw 2 touchdowns as the Steelers cruise past a mistake-prone Browns team, 27-14. And Cam Hayward has been on good teams before, ones that have captured divisions. Okay, they just start talking. Okay. But yeah, man. Jameis Winston, though, he still had a good game, but just not enough. And the Browns season of obviously officially ended. I mean, who thought Jameis Winston would lead them to the playoffs after starting off? Maybe if he started from day one, then maybe, but not right now. Steelers win. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Las Vegas Raiders, 28-13. The Buccaneers are now 7-6. Raiders 2-11. So, yeah, they're just they're starting Desmond Ridder on Monday. Dad, what will be so funny? Like, I'm talking hysterical. If Desmond Ridder beats the Falcons on Monday, that would be the craziest thing ever. But that was your takeaway on the Buccaneers winning this one.
Hello?
Hello?
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. You hear me?
I can hear you.
We're having some technical difficulties, but okay.
All right, we'll go on.
So where were we?
We were on the Buccaneers over Raiders.
All right. Well, Buccaneers, they control their destiny now in the NFC South. And just beat up the Raiders. I mean, who hasn't beat them this year? So yeah, the Raiders are in that category, fighting for that, that franchise quarterback. And the Buccaneers, they, move on and they're looking good to make the playoffs. We'll see what happens if they can keep it up.
Yeah. However, I will say, if the Buccaneers lose one more game before Week 18, then the Saints will obviously the Saints got to win out, but the Saints will actually control their own destiny against Tampa Bay at least. All right. So let's say Atlanta loses like 2 or 3 more games. If the Saints win out, then they control their own destiny against Tampa. Because if Tampa loses one more game before Week 18, if Tampa Bay wins out, then it's done for. But if Tampa Bay loses to the Chargers this week, which is very possible, if they do that, and the Saints still win out, which is going to be some miracle, but if they do that, then the Saints will have will control their own destiny. Because Tampa Bay, they would have a worse division record than us, especially since we would have beat them in Week 18. So just pointing that out there. But Baker Mayfield threw 3 touchdowns as the Buccaneers did take over first place in the NFC South after obviously the Falcons lost to the Vikings. Good job. Man, but hey, the Buccaneers, man, they've been surging. They've won 3 in a row, I want to say. 3 in a row, something like that. But they're back over 500. And they're looking to win a 4th straight NFC South title. And they're on pace to do that. Because they obviously won the division the 2 years, the 3 years Brady was there, and they won last year with Baker. So, no, they lost in 2020 because we won the division that year. They just went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. All right. But yeah. All right, Seattle Seahawks take care of business against the Arizona Cardinals, 30-18. Seahawks are now 8-5, sole runner of the division, while the Cardinals stand at 6-7. And they're standing, but it's on their last leg. They're at their dying breath So, Dad, what's your takeaway on the Seahawks just pulling in the pain for Cardinals fans?
Well, Cardinals fans, it's not over for you yet. You're only 2 games back. And yep, but the Seahawks, they did take care of business on the road in Arizona. So that's a big win over their division rivals.
Yeah, but man, the Seahawks though, they just ran all over Arizona. They just ran all over Arizona. I mean, there's not much to say here. Zach Charbonnet had a career high 134 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Seahawks, who are currently leading the NFC West, beat the Cardinals 30-18. And yeah, it was just a dominant force. So the Cardinals, they scored first, but ever since then, Kyler throws 2 picks, Seahawks just run away. And that was a game I predicted Seattle to win. So yeah. Next up, we have probably the most confusing game of the season. Los Angeles Rams beat the Buffalo Bills, where both teams left their defense in the locker room as they beat the Bills 44-42. Rams are 7-6. Bills are still 10-3. But Josh Allen said, "Well, I'm just gonna let you take it away because I just can't believe that was a score." What's your takeaway on the game?
It was 2 stud quarterbacks going after it, back and forth. And Josh Allen, he's gonna be tough to beat in the playoffs. But Matt Stafford did get the better of him just by 2 points in this one. But it was a good game if you liked a lot of offense. You don't like defense, this was your game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, I just don't understand what happened. I think the best offensive play in the game was when the Rams blocked the punt for a touchdown. Like, gosh, man.
The Rams, though, watch out for the Rams because they're dangerous now. Now that Nakua and Cup's back healthy, they can put up these 40 burgers.
Yep. But, man, Josh Allen, though, bro, he set an NFL mark with 3 touchdown passes and 3 touchdown runs. But like you said, man, Stafford and the Rams held off. Stafford and the Rams, they got a lot of momentum now. They've won 2 in a row. They're the first team out of the playoffs. So, shoot, the Saints might help the Rams this Sunday if they are able to win. Because the Rams, man, they're probably praying for a Saints win on Sunday. Because we play the Commanders, so then both teams would be 8-6, and I'm not sure who has the tiebreaker in that. I don't think the Rams played the Commanders this season, so I don't know if they're the tiebreakers for that, but yeah. Anyways, the 49ers cruise to a miserable Bears team. What's up, Joshua, the Bucs fan, Logan? But yeah, the 49ers cruise and just crush the soul of the Chicago Bears, 38-13. 49ers are 6-7, and their playoff chances aren't dead. But the Bears, they are 4-9, haven't won a game on the road. Their fans are probably out of it. They're just looking to see who their next head coach is going to be. Dad, what's your takeaway from this game?
Yeah, they haven't won a game on the road. They're playing with an interim head coach, a quarterback that paints his fingernails. I mean, they're really in trouble here. And the 49ers, they got it together, but they got it together against the Bears. So don't jump up and down, 49ers fans. It's going to be all right. Let's see what y'all do this week coming up.
Yeah, man. 49ers beat the Bears 30-13, and they were able to spoil Thomas Brown's coaching debut, which is something that the Falcons going to do to Dan Rizzi. But yeah, after weeks of shaky play, the 49ers got back to their old form with one of their better wins this season, man. So this was a 49ers team that was dying, and they were able just to destroy somebody else that was also dying. Well, no, the Bears are probably already dead. They're already dead. But yeah. Kansas City Chiefs. What the? Chiefs beat the Chargers 19-17. Chiefs clinched the division with this one. They're 12-1. Chargers, though, they're still 8-5. They still got a good chance. But dude, the Chiefs are not. Go on, Dad. What's your takeaway after this one?
The luckiest team in NFL history. It doesn't matter how you need to win a game. If you need to win a game by a toe, if you need to win a game by the opposite team trying to catch the snap without hands, it doesn't matter if you need a double doink off the goalpost. Whatever you need, this team is getting.
Yeah, bro. The Chiefs, man. They won their 9th straight AFC West title, beating the Chargers on a bank shot field goal. Hey, what? Did you see that kick? I was looking at. I'm gonna get you whenever I'm done. But anyways, the Chiefs, bro. What the heck? Anyways, the Chiefs, man.
Trolling you back there?
It's my brother, bro. Like, what the heck? Okay, whatever. He's gonna get it whenever I'm done this. But anyways, but did you see that kick though? I'm telling you, if that was anybody else, that kick was gonna go wide left. That reminded me when the Browns kicker did the same thing against the Saints before halftime. That one time that they played us, the kick went the same way, and yet they still. How does it doink in it, bruh? If the Chiefs, I swear, if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl off of something like that, oh yeah, the NFL needs to be investigated, bruh. Man, they're literally moving the goalposts, bro. I swear they moved that goalpost. There's no way. But usually we don't do this, but let's go over the money game, man, because this game was crazy. Cincinnati Bengals with a full 27-20 win over the Dallas Cow Idiots, thinking that they win the Super Bowl this year. Dad, what's your take on this one?
Cowgirls, you couldn't score more than 20 points on the Bengals defense. I mean, the worst defense in the league, pretty much. But give it up to Joe Burrow and the Bengals trying to find a way to win. You know, y'all beat the Cowgirls. So, I mean, just like the 49ers, there's no reason to jump up and down because y'all beat a real sorry team. But a win is a win. You're 5-8.
Both teams are 5-8.
Fringe playoff, but it doesn't look too good. You need a lot of help.
Yeah. The Cowboys, though, man. Have you ever seen a team block a punt and yet it resulted badly for the team that blocked the punt?
No.
That was just crazy.
I didn't even know that was a rule until that night.
I think it actually happened to the Cowboys a few years ago, too, when they played Denver. Man, the Cowboys, man, every time y'all block a punt, seems like something bad's going on. Man, the Cowboys probably have one of the worst special team units in the NFL. But, yeah. So, yeah. I was going to go over the playoff picture, but now my brother got me in a mood, so I'm probably going to go handle him, and we're probably going to talk about the player picture on Friday. So, Dad, do you got anything else to say? All right.
No, sir. Go handle your lightweight.
All right. Like, subscribe, share. Well, Dad, where can they find you? So.
Go find me Warren Newbie YouTube channel on Hurricane Mike Show every week, breaking it down.
All right, you can like, share, turn the bell, and turn on the upload. Do that, and don't be a what?
Don't be a Falcon fan. Don't be those boys.
Not even making the playoffs.